Hi, so in this video we're going to talk about the MonstaTek M1. Is it legit or is it scam? I'm not back at this project, so I really hope that this is legit. So, talking about the MonstaTek M1, it's been getting quite a lot of attention because this is the most promising Flipper Zero alternative out there that's actually going to be around the same size, do the same thing, having a screen. The only thing that's different now is that the M1 unit is better, faster, better display, more updated, more modern, and everything. That is what they talk about. That is what they say. So we're going to check out the webpage right here and see that there's 11,000 backers, and a small 189. And there are updates. Checking their updates, what's going to do that, but just scrolling down just a bit, we can see that this is the unit, and we see the different kind of things, the technical specifications like MCU, infrared, RFID, NFC, sub 1 GHz, hardware hacking, storage, GPIO, which is gonna prompt for a community development. And this is what I really think about many times. Will the community actually take this unit into the consideration when you think about how big the community of the Flipper Zero is? But let's also keep ourselves in mind, the Flipper Zero is the one of the only kind, really, at the moment. And it's always the same thing that goes on when something comes to the market as a second thing, better, newer, whatever we're gonna call it. Then there's going to be a lot of skeptical about it because people will say, but the Flipper already have that. Probably. But nothing wrong with a little competition. And this is what I really feel this is going to be. This is going to be a competition. And it's also going to be, and I'm putting myself on the word here called gadgets. So this is a gadget. So going back to the actual analysis of the web page, scrolling down a bit, we can see that they did something to, explain us this unit. The GPIO pins are there, and the choice of the CPU or MCU, what it can do, and all these kind of things, And even though that this is looking, people would say probably a bit sketchy to say that the graphic is bad and so on. And this is very normal for Kickstarter projects, that they have to focus on some things, and the thing they focus on is probably not having the most 4K video. Back in the days, if you think about just 20 years ago, this would be premium quality on TV. So I think it's a thing just to consider. I know this also seems a bit weird. It's probably a GIF file. Let me just right click it and open. And it is a GIF file, so this is not even a movie, which is why the actual graphic is down, just to keep it speedy. Maybe that has something to do with the Kickstarter.com page. I don't know, never started a Kickstarter project before. But what really take off is it's going to go to comments, because I think we're going to go to comments right here and say comments. You can check out that people are talking about, can I get a refund since I cannot be emailed? And we reissued the link to the email and your Kickstarter, sorry for the inconvenience, and I got the email now. So they are very responsive one day. This is probably in-day communication. And I've been aware they also have a Twitter account where they actually do follow some people, and other YouTubers also gave them a small ping on Twitter, and they replied back pretty fast. That's a good sign. And he also got the email, so that's a really good sign, you could say. So they're very communicative, and they do have an email. You can write directly to them, and I think just reading, and I do have a video where I talked about the different kind of comments and updates on the webpage, and I really feel this is actually real people sitting there doing their job. But then again, I do understand that most people maybe not feel the same way, which is just the way it is. Clicking on updates, you got 5 updates here, and talking about the pledge manager and the introduction to it. Thank you for the backers. Project font successfully done. The update 1 here. Thanking us for the support, and something about campaign fully funded. Okay. And it launched itself in February. So this is on a very short time got a lot of attention. So let's talk about this. So in February the 6th to when they set project fund successfully in March the 7th. So that would be actually two months. In 2 months time they raised this amount of money. And why did that happen? What really happened so fast? I would say the people that interest themselves in stuff like, Flipper Zero, radio signals, infrared, and stuff like that, they saw this project as a promising contender to the Flipper Zero because it needs some competition. The Flipper Zero can only do that much, and we need something to actually have a more compact unit. For example, why doesn't the Flipper Zero have Wi-Fi? You have to put some thing on it. I think it's a bit weird. Also, why didn't the MonstaTek M1 support 5 GHz? Because this is a thing we all talked about so many times. Why didn't you support 5 GHz? Even though that they talked about it is possible, then you have to use the GPIO pins. Well, I would really like to see a great community building on this. So coming away from the webpage here, because I think we already talked about this many times, I found a post talking about, this is real people 2 years ago. How many of you have been scammed? And I want to step carefully here, because when we talk about people and they feel hit in some way, people often have a tendency to give the worst, right? I hope you understand what I mean here. So they talk about him, he, whatever, S flew something, 5 backed project, 2 were scam, 1 failed, 1 lousy quality, and 1 did well. So what he talks about here is 3 out of 5 projects were okay, and 2 were scam. But what is it that he means with the scam project? Because it is really easy for us to say, but the word means something. Yes, but how did he verify that? Was it really not a scam? Was it maybe just a failed project that have to, they used the money and didn't go as well? That is what Kickstarter is. So yes, doing stuff on Kickstarter is definitely worth the risk. When you do a back on a Kickstarter project, you're a backer, you will be given certain rewards. A reward is something that say, hey, you helped us to fund the project, so we're gonna give you this. Now what you're gonna get is probably not the final project, it's probably the first prototype. In most occasions that is what I would definitely wait for in the mail. So there's a chance that this guy here, talking about 2 scams, and this should not be taken lightly, because even though that this is an experience, we should also read on like a blog post, for example. And here we have Kickstarter. They talk about that one of the biggest crowdfunding pages on the internet. They talked about that only around 9% of the projects fail to deliver their promises. And these are projects often that fail to raise over $1,000. But sometimes when they do raise that amount of money, the product cannot be delivered in some way. So it is inherently risky, and this is probably not what people talk about when they say I feel scammed. Because what is it? Just because it's a risky crowdfunding process doesn't necessarily mean it's a scam. So we should definitely think about that. Kickstarter projects is full of risk, and what is actually you're going to get when you're going to a Kickstarter project. People maybe expect too much, and I want to just say, like, taking this from a neutral position and saying, well, this is my first Kickstarter project ever. I feel this is the one. I haven't invested in a Flipper Zero. mainly because of two reasons. The first reason would be that I'm waiting on this unit, and then I'm gonna do videos about this. Also, I don't really have the money for Flipper Zero. If I had it and the channel could earn enough money, I'm definitely probably gonna go ahead and buy one, because just of the community is great. So many great kind of firmwares for Flipper Zero that I would really love to try, but I don't have it, so that's really it. So it is cheaper than the Flipper Zero. The M1 MonstaTek unit is what they say around half the price. I would say, I guess, could probably be around that. So if the MonstaTek M1 unit is actually going to be shipped out there, it's going to outsell the Flipper really fast. That is one scenario. Other scenarios that people just say, but you know, it's the same thing. Maybe it got Wi-Fi included, maybe it got a faster processor, but we don't need it. There's so many, you know, so much stuff going on Flipper Zero community, so it's going to be difficult for us to migrate. The same thing happened with Python 2.7 to Python 3.0. When that came out, you know, the Python 2.7 part of the community kind of just said, we cannot do it, you know, it's too much. It's just a matter of time before this could take off, you could say, and I really hope that within a few months' time, whenever this is going to be shipped out, I'm also going to receive one. I am a backer, so when I receive it, I really hope I do. I really hope this is legit, and I actually think it is. You know, my honest opinion is this is a legit project, and I see this going through, because they also see this as a possible, not a plausible, but a possible way of income, because this can explode. You know, it's going to be really big. It also got a built-in Wi-Fi module, which is a plus, and this is going to outcompete the Flipper. It is better than the Flipper on paper, got more things, better CPUs, and basically means that the actual hacks, brute force and so on, could be faster. Also greater capability of processor, could probably help with different kind of things like rolling key codes and stuff and so on. So I want to say, let's see what happens.